I'm GH, and in this video I'll be talking about the 2022 Belgian Grand Prix, the 14th round of the 2022 F1 season. Please note that everything I said is based on facts and of course my own opinions. So, without further ado, let's start the video. First of all, let's see some of the news that's been going on before the race. McLaren has officially announced that Ricciardo will not racing for them in 2023. Spa will still be on the 2023 calendar, but Paul Ricard won't be. Oh, and Audi will join F1 in 2026, also manufacturing its own engine. Anyway, let's get into their performances. I got one word: perfection. A 1-2 finish and the fastest lap on a race where your lead driver starts from 14th, then proceeds to win the race with over 20 seconds to the nearest Ferrari. I mean, there is nothing else to describe Red Bull's performance today. It's giving the 2013 Singapore Vettel vibe, total domination. It looks like there's nothing opponents could do to stop the Dutch driver today. At this point, even if Max started last, there's a huge chance that he would still win the race. Well, except in Monaco. As for Sergio, he had a solid race. After the bad start that caused him to lose some positions, Perez bounced back nicely and the Mexican had a pretty lonely race, ended up finishing second behind teammate Verstappen. At this point, their questionable strategies are becoming a tradition. It seems like there is not a race in which they take unnecessary risks and weird strategies. Charles had a brake problem in the early laps that forced him to pit. He ended up restarting the race at P17, but managed to gain positions rapidly on the race, at one point even getting inside the top 5, but then Ferrari thinks that it's a good idea to pit and go for the fastest lap, despite Charles' reluctance as well as Alonso that's chasing behind. Leclerc ended up getting passed by Alonso, didn't get the fastest lap, and despite managed to regain P5, got a 5-second penalty that resulted in a P6 finish. As for Sainz, despite getting pole, good start, as well as no fatal errors, the Red Bulls are just too fast for him to catch up. But he still got into the podium, so not bad I guess. Alonso is slower compared to Ocon in the quali stage, but redeemed himself on the race. Managed to recover nicely after Lewis bumped into him. On the latter laps, Fernando battled with Leclerc for the 5th, and after Leclerc's, or rather Ferrari's questionable decision, Alonso managed to finish P5 after the Ferrari driver dropped into P6 due to penalty. Ocon also did rather well, faster than teammate on quali, finishing P7 after the power unit penalty, and had an impressive double overtake on Gasly and Vettel. Lewis really messed up. After a good start, he attempted to overtake Alonso but didn't leave enough space and was forced to retire after irreparable damage. Russell, on the other hand, once again had an impressive race, finishing P4 after battling with both Ferraris with no major errors. Vettel had a good race. After a bad quali session, he managed to redeem himself by finishing 8th on the race. The 4-time world champion had a great start and some good battles as well, including the 3-way fight with Ocon and Gasly. Stroll, on the other hand, finished just outside of the points after struggling to get past Albon in P10 despite getting within the DRS range for 10 plus laps. Overall though, it's a good points haul for the team. Gasly started from the pit lane after electrical issues despite getting into Q2. He had brief power loss that caused position loss but managed to undercut Albon and finish P9. Tsunoda had a horrible quali session, qualifying P19, but Tsunoda did change the power unit, so it didn't affect him that much. The Japanese had some good overtaking moves, however unable to score points in the end, finishing P13. Getting into Q3 in Williams is an accomplishment of its own for Albon. He followed it up with a strong race performance, holding back Stroll for 10 plus laps on the DRS range to take P10. On the other side, Latifi did nothing. Once again, bad quali and bad race for the Canadian. He finished P18, last amongst the classified drivers. Despite reaching Q3, Lando took the power unit penalty and started 17th. For the latter part of the race, Lando got stuck on the DRS train behind Stroll, so he ended up finishing P12. Daniel once again disappointed, struggled to get past Albon and got stuck at the back of the DRS train, resulting in a P15 finish. All in all, a horrible result for McLaren. Bottas amounted to 20 positions penalty after the gearbox and power unit change, but still started 13th on the race after a lot of drivers chased their components as well, but he was bumped by Latifi on the early laps and forced to retire after being stuck on the gravel. Zhou managed to get into Q2 but can't really do anything against faster cars, mostly running on the back position. He was also part of the DRS train and on the final lap got overtaken by Tsunoda to finish 14th. Mick managed to progress to Q2, but on the race he can't really do anything substantial and struggled to get in front of anyone except Latifi. The German ended up finishing P17. Magnussen also didn't do that well, bad quali, and despite running inside top 10 at one point, the Dane can't hold the position and finished the race in P16. My best driver for this race is Max. I mean, he literally went from P14 to win the race with a fairly huge gap. It seems like there's just nothing that can stop him at this point. At the moment, Max is almost 100 points in front of Leclerc, and judging by Ferrari's decision making so far, let's just say it's highly improbable that anyone will catch up to Verstappen. Here are the standings after the 14th round. Anyway, yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you like it, please share, like and subscribe. See you in the next video, and yeah, have a nice day.